Oh my
I don't
gosh.
care what Houston did yesterday. They're going to go get their Letterman jackets again. The Indianapolis Colts are 2-6 against the Titans since Pat McAfee came up here and did his wrestling announcement. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they haven't had back-to-back winning seasons since I was a senior in high school.
Everybody catching.
I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush. Cause I'm top shelf, I ain't got wealth. But I'm on my grind like park rails. I'd sell the shoes right off my 2 feet, then add one, that's a yard sale. Got dumb bars that be smarter than Harvard, Yale. Take your pictures elsewhere, you wanna be TMZ, I wanna be VIP. Quit pandering, I'm not answering, cause I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. All of that bark and no bite, that's alright. Not everyone can be the big dog. Take a walk, kick rocks, can't keep me out cause I pick locks. They hearing me knocking, I'll never be stopping. I keep this shit popping like lip gloss. Get me pissed off and the whole squad point the red dots. Something like chicken pox, give me all what you got like it raw, shimmy y'all. Feeling like Tony Hawk, never stop, let it rock, better not get involved. Running a marathon and you a tortoise. This my world, you a tourist. Fuck with the bullet, you get in the horns, I'm a tourist. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it
What's up, Titans fans? It's Maximus Titan fan and your boy
Flame Douglas, often hated, never duplicated, man. Tighten up.
and we are the Titans Fan Battle Podcast, part of the Fan Battle Sports Network, the best network because it's by the fans, for the fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about how to maximize our win total and what our win total we think will be. I'm going to start this off basically because, it's a pretty easy answer, mostly. The injury, we got to stay healthy. We got to keep people on the field. We can't have injuries like we've had the past 2 years. That can't happen. Not if we're going to be successful. Another big part of it is the offensive line. I really feel like the offensive line has improved a lot this year. Dennis Daly's not there. He's replaced by Andre Dillard. Yeah, thank God, right?
Thank God.
And Andre Dillard, you guys, I don't know if you looked this up, but he's more of a pass blocker than he is a run blocker. That's the way he was drafted. That's the way his play is. He's good at keeping the pocket clean. He's not a very good run blocker, and I think that's why he didn't get the chance to start in Philly. Peter Skoronski, the bill is out, but again, he's supposed to have excellent pass blocking skills. Brewer is, if you look back, now I'm a big Aaron Brewer hater. You know this. If you watch my videos, you know this. But if you look back, when Ben Jones was playing for us, not last year, but the year before that, in the early of last offseason, there were a couple games that Ben Jones missed at center, and Aaron Brewer stepped in for him at center. And when he did play at center, he played actually really well. He played pretty darn good and got pretty darn good scores there. So we'll have to give him a nod until he proves us wrong. Brunskill is more of a run blocker, but as a right tackle, as a right guard, that's what you want. And Nicholas Petit Ferrer, excuse me if I said that wrong, is he proved to be pretty darn good. And to be honest, he had Nate Davis standing next to him last year, which is a run blocker. He's a really good run blocker, but he's not very good pass blocking. And I mean, when you're trying to do it all by yourself, it's just like, again, Aaron Burr, you got to give him a little bit of a break, because I mean, to his left, he had the worst left tackle in all of football, and he's trying to block for these guys. The other big parts of the offense that need to improve is Kyle Phillips needs to stay healthy, stay on the field, and I think he will. And don't drop any more punts or kickoffs.
Please.
If you get a chance to punt or kickoff return, catch the damn ball first. Number 1, catch the ball. Number 2, run.
Thanks.
And we need Colton Dow to step up a little bit this year, I think. If we don't sign D-Hop, of course we'll get into that later, but if we don't sign D-Hop, then we need Colton Dow to step up to maximize our wins. Mm-hmm. The defense is pretty easy, man. Just do what you've been doing on the front 7. I think you're going to be improved because of Harold Landry coming back and Arden Key and all these things that we've done. But with the guys in the back, the young backfield, y'all gotta produce a little better. Y'all gotta do a little better. Even though Christian Fulton, was on I think he was number 8 on the top 10 list for the cornerbacks of what was his name? Some ESPN writer. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
But I did read that. I saw that. It surprised me, so I posted it. If you need to see that, you can see it on my Facebook page. But what do you think, Flame? What's your take on? Didn't mention what I'll mention at the end of yours. What our win total will be. Go ahead.
Yeah. We'll save the win totals to afterwards. Offense, man. I think to maximize our offense, the number one thing we must do is protect the quarterback. You got to protect the quarterback. That's what we sucked at last year. I'm talking about struggle. Offensive line could not get it together at all. So, number one, we got to protect the quarterback, and I think we will. Like you said, we got Dillard on the offensive line now. We got Skoronski, Brewer at center now. Petit Frere. I'm liking what we're bringing on the offensive line now. Like, I'm really excited about this new group. They're young. Hopefully they can gel together, and by the time the season starts, we should be dominating the line of scrimmage. And that brings me to my second point of how we need to maximize the offense. We got to dominate the line of scrimmage. And when I say dominate, I'm talking in both phases of offense. We have to run the ball for Derrick. We have to open up holes for Derrick Henry, and we have to pass block for Tannehill. If we're going to have any kind of offense, we have to run the ball, which we know we're going to do anyway. So holes will have to be made. The blocks have to be held on to so Tannehill can go through his progressions and make the right pass. And, we want our offense to be this high-scoring offense, but like I said, we have to dominate the line of scrimmage or we'll be struggling again. And now number 3, we got to let the run open up the passing game. So we got to get our run game going. Last year, we struggled on first down getting the run game going. We'll give the ball to Derrick Henry. He running into a wall. We have to open up these holes. Like, that's the only way our offense is going to work. Everybody wants us to go out here and be this 5 wide, spread it out, throw the ball over the top. Come on, y'all. We got Derrick Henry. That's not going to happen. We're still going to be that smash mouth, run the ball down your throat football team first. Now, we might, with Tim Kelly, we might open up the pass game a little more than we have in the past, but we're still going to be that smash mouth football team. We're not getting away from that. Trust me, not just yet. Long as number 22 is on our team, we're going to run that ball. So we need to let the run game open up the pass, and by that I mean switch it up. We can't be so predictable. That's another thing. We can't be so predictable on offense. We can't. First down, we're going to run. Second down, we're going to run. Third down, we're going to pass. We got to get away from run, pass. And now that our old offensive coordinator is out of there, I'm feeling good about what we're going to do with this offense. Like, I know it's not going to be run, pass. So, and then my fourth thing is we have to score points in the red zone. Before last year, we were good at scoring points in the red zone. We kind of took a step back last year, and we just, we struggled, which most of the time, either Tannehill got hit, he didn't have enough time to run the ball, to pass the ball, or the hole wasn't open for Derrick Henry to hit the thing, or we didn't have no receiver that was going to catch the ball, bro. Like, who the hell was we going to throw it to? You know what I'm saying? So those are things that we struggled on last year that I think we'll do better with this year. And all four of those things will definitely help maximize our offense. And another key thing that we'll talk about a little later is signing DeAndre Hopkins. If that was to happen, I'm pretty sure that would help maximize our offense. That would give us two number one receivers on both sides with Treylon Burks and DeAndre Hopkins. Stick Kyle Phillips in the slot. Hey, man, it could be nice, but we talking about maximizing our offense. I think those four things would definitely help us, be more efficient, take less sacks, less turnovers. Those things would definitely help us maximize our offense, Max.
I agree. And what is your win total?
Right now, my projected win total for the Tennessee Titans next year is 9 to 10 wins. And that's honestly just being as honest as I can, not trying to be biased, take my heart out of it. I see us getting 9 to 10 wins simply because I do think our defense will still play good. We will struggle a little bit in the secondary because I'm not really knowing what our corners are going to bring. We always struggled against good wide receivers. Our cornerbacks have always struggled. And now you got good, well, I can't say good yet, but you got potentially good quarterbacks in the division. So, I can still see us having some problems with receivers, covering receivers and tight ends. Our offense, I do think our offense is going to be a lot better than people think. I don't think we're going to struggle too much on offense. I actually think we're going to put points on the board this year. I think Treylon Burks he's going to make a leap. I think I'm hoping Kyle Phillips make a leap. Chig is going to probably be one of our most dynamic players. And I see us being better than last year on offense, but not good enough to be a 11 to 12 win team. So I got us right now. If I had to pick one number, I got us at 9 wins. What about you? What about you, Max? What's your projected win total for us?
Well, my projected win total and my maximum win total are two different things.
Okay.
But my maximum win total is 12 wins without DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
Obviously, if we get DeAndre Hopkins, I guess that goes up a little bit. But that's my maximum win total. That is the ceiling of what I think we could achieve.
Okay.
Realistically anyway, as like you said, I take my heart out of it as a Titans fan, because I think we could go 16-0, or whatever. But,
17.
17. Yeah, 17-0. I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. I'm old school, man. But yeah, that, I always want us to win every single game, but
Sure.
Realistically, I think the maximum total wins we could get is probably 12.
Mm-hmm.
What do I think we'll actually get? I think you nailed it. I think 9. I think 9 wins is probably exactly how many we'll end up with, either 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I still expect to go to the playoffs. I don't know if we'll win the division or not because of Jacksonville, and Houston actually doesn't look terrible. The Colts do, though, so that's nice.
That's always nice.
Shout out to all my Colt fans out there. My cousins, if you're watching, ha ha ha, you live in Indy. Sorry.
Poor guys.
Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for them. Ever since Andrew Luck left, they've just had no luck.
Womp, womp, womp.
Sorry, but Jacksonville, I mean, I'm not really that worried about them until they have back-to-back winning seasons, but they did look pretty good last year. They didn't change that much in the offseason, so I don't expect them really to be that much different than they were last year. However, I don't think, we would have lost both games to them. I think we only really should have lost one game to them, but we'll leave that, a whole mess for another discussion or whatever. If we want to talk about the failures of last season, I think that it might be a good topic for a show coming up. Actually, I think that would be a great topic we're going to have to do that now, I think.
Yeah, we'll discuss that for sure.
All right, so let's just transition right off since we're talking about the offense and how to maximize and all that good stuff. Everybody wants to know, everybody's talking about it right now. DeAndre Hopkins in Nashville. We swooped him, we put him in the limo with the nice picture of him up there in a Titans jersey. We took him to the CMAs apparently. Some guy on Twitter said he saw him at an IHOP. I hope that's not true. On Dickerson Road. I really hope that's not true. Right? So I'm not from Nashville, but I do know Nashville. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Don't go to that one.
That's not the one you want to be going to, trust me.
Yeah, no, there's more IHOPs, man. Don't go to that one. Anyway, so yeah, I think we swooped him. I think we did a good job. And I think honestly, at the end of the day, if he looks at the situation as a realistic, guy, which I think he is, I think he'll end up looking at it and going, this is probably my best shot tonight. What's up, Matt? Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow too, buddy. That's one of the guys I work with. But
shout out, Matt.
We had kind of an accident at work today, so I think that's probably. But he's just showing me love, and I love it. And thank you for the support. And we're all thinking about you, Johnny. Hope you pull through, buddy. But anyway, sorry, DeAndre Hopkins. So we swooped him. We did our best, and I think at the end of the day, he'll probably say that where else is he going to play? Jersey? I mean, is he going to play in Cleveland? Don't think so. Detroit? Probably not. He's a Southern guy. He's been up there, or he's been out there west. I don't think you like that too much. Come back to the South. You played in South Carolina. I think you grew up in South Carolina. You're a Southern man at heart. Come back to the South, bro. We're a tax-free state. $18 million tax-free. Right. That's like $1.8 million. You ain't got to give up, bro. I mean, think about that. Also, a lot of our games are in tax-free states. Yeah. So again, your paycheck's going to be higher, and if you sign with us, I mean, financially it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he said he wants money. Hey, you can get some money here. We can't offer you the biggest bag, but we're gonna offer you a nice size bag, and we're gonna give you a chance to win. I mean, we can't guarantee that we're gonna be a Super Bowl contending squad next year, but we're gonna give you a chance to win. What do you say? We give him the Rudy Tooty.
Rudy Fruity, man. That's a dish at the IHOP, man. That's just what I used to always.
Rudy Fresh and Fruity.
BT, man, you speaking the truth, brother. Hey, we tried everything. Man. We pulled out all the stops, man. I'm sure on the way from the airport, we were like, hey, Taylor Swift lives right over there, and there's Tim McGraw, and there's Jelly Roll, we got all these people here, and I mean, look at how sweet this place is. The CMAs, actually that lined up really well that he could go to the CMAs, because I'm sure he's not a huge country music fan, but at the same time, the energy you feel from something like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you get a feel for how alive the town is at an event like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you've been to something like that in Nashville, or back when Opryland was actually producing some stuff and doing stuff, and it used to actually liven up the town a lot. Yeah, for sure. With it being at Nissan, that was all good. It's showing you that, look, man, this is where you'll be playing.
Like I think they did that thing with the visit, you know, bringing them in, you know, picking them up in the van with the welcome to Nashville with the D Hop in the Titans uniform. Man, that was very creative. Shout out to our marketing team for that.
Yep.
You know, they had the champagne bottles in there. I'm pretty sure he had a good visit, man. You know, we treated him to the concert, had him up in the president's box. Hey, I know he probably don't listen to a lot of country, but hey, that's just showing you the deep B-Hop. That could be Lil Durk. That could be any of these rappers when they come to Nashville. You know, they're gonna always put you up in the highest thing. But you know what's funny? I was listening to Vrabel last week, you know, saying that he's not a recruiter. This is not a recruitment. You know, he's done with the recruitment. Being a recruiter, he left that in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, it sounds like recruiting to me, man. You bring D-Hop in, you show him a good time. You know, you tell him that we can probably give him probably 10, 15 million, you know, depending on the incentives we can give him. And I mean, we give him a good chance to win, man. We got a pretty good offense. We got, in my opinion, we got the best running back in the NFL. You know, we got a decent Tannehill's been a decent veteran quarterback with a big arm. Dude's got a cannon. Mm-hmm. He's gonna put it there. He's gonna put it on you. Long as you get open, Tannehill will put the ball on you. So I mean, I know Hopkins. You know, he's very familiar with some of our players. You know, with him playing in Houston and you know just being in the AFC South for a while. I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling good about what the Titans did bringing him here. I'm feeling good about what I'm hearing about him wanting to be here. Like Vrabel said, man, we want players that want to be here. So, you know, if you even show a little interest and want to be a Titan, and, you know, we're showing you, you know, we got a new general manager who's determined to win. He's going to bring more players in, you know. Who wouldn't want to play for a general manager like Ran Carthon? I mean, everything the guy said so far just sounds good. You know, he's gonna draft the right players. We're gonna turn this thing around, and you know, right now it sounded good, man. Hey, hopefully, one day I can say that DeAndre Hopkins is a Titan. You know, I'm not gonna get too hyper because I got too hyper when we signed Julio Jones, and we all seen how that turned out. So I'm not going to get too hyper about the DeAndre Hopkins, but I think we would love to have him. I think he'll be a great mentor to Treylon Burks. He'll be a great another teammate to play on the other side of the field and open up stuff for Treylon. Treylon will open up stuff for Hopkins and Chig and Wiley and everybody. So I mean, I feel like he'll be a perfect fit. Hey, right now I'm excited. I'm liking what I'm hearing. Let's get this guy signed. And we do have the money to do it. Spend the money, Miss Amy. Give it to this guy. He's going to sell plenty of jerseys. He's going to put some butts in some seats at Nissan. Let's do it. Come on, bring Hopkins to the Titans, y'all. Let's get it.
Exactly. I mean, it's just that simple. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, 100%. But honestly, like I said, I don't see him going anywhere else. You know, as much as Hopkins makes sense for the Titans, I think the Titans make just as much sense for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I know I get a lot of argument on this from other people outside of my organization because they don't see my organization like I see my organization. But I see my organization as an improved offense. We got a better offensive line, so we're going to be able to keep Tannehill up longer. We're going to be able to throw the ball. That means more time for him to scan the field. If you have Burks, then that also creates more opportunity for you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, not only do you get the money, but you get Tim Kelly, who you were highly productive under. You already know he knows how to use you and what your favorite routes are to run and all that kind of stuff. You're already familiar with Vrabel, and you had high praise for him when he became a head coach. You said he knows how to win championships, and that's all he's done since he's got here is bring us to the playoffs, AFC championships. I mean, and there is a lack of what he is. You know what I mean? There is a lack at wide receiver. So there are plenty of targets or passes to go around. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's
Yeah,
plenty
sure.
for him to eat. There's plenty of food for everybody to eat. So come on in here, DeAndre Hopkins. Eat up. You're going to love it here in Tennessee. I'm telling you. I think, honestly, you're just making a sweat and trying to drive the price up a little bit by going to meeting other teams. Because I honestly think that you've already chosen. I believe that. I believe that he's already decided pretty much who he's going with. He's just kind of going to ride this out and see what he can get out of it or whatever.
Get some nice visits. You know, use up some time. You know, I mean, just he's gonna enjoy the hospitality while he's at it. I think this is his first time ever really being a free agent, so he might as well, you know, go on a little tour, have fun this summer a little bit, and, you know, soak it all up. But
it's not to say that the Browns don't do something completely stupid and offer him like $30 million a year.
Hey,
then he's gone. You know what I mean? So I understand what he's doing.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me a bit.
At the same time, if we're within $2 million of anybody else's offer out there, even if we're not, I think he calls us back and goes, "Hey, man, you want to match this offer?" You know, I mean, like, I really believe that he would want to play for the Titans. It just makes sense. It makes way too much sense, way more sense than the Patriots.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know about the Bill O'Brien comments, but you know, he said some really nasty stuff about DeAndre. I'm not even gonna bring it up, DeAndre, because that was just uncalled for.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, as a man and as a coach, you should never say things like that about your players unless, I mean, they've just done something heinous and he had at that point. So I mean, I don't understand it. And then they do that baffling trade-off, which just didn't make any sense to me at all. But hey, DeAndre, come back to the AFC South, man. You can play Houston twice a year, and this year you can wear an Oilers jersey and smash their face with it.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Would that not be beautiful?
That's gonna be beautiful. And I can say the last two franchises that Hopkins played for have been discombobulated. You know what I'm saying? Like the Texans were going through a whole new rebranding. We all know what Arizona was going through. I mean, they trying to get new coaches. Their front office was just a wreck. Hey, we have some stability finally in the front office right here in Nashville. We got a new general manager, Miss Amy. She's a great owner. She's going to give us what we need to be successful. Vrabel, been the coach of the year a couple years ago. He ain't done nothing but win since he's been here, man. Like, we're stable. All we need is that other receiver, a veteran, catch the ball. And we all know when we've had this pass catchers conversation. DeAndre Hopkins is definitely a pass catcher. He's not a guy that's gonna get a lot of run after the catch. He's going to catch that ball, get out of bounds or get down, but he's catching that ball if it's coming his way. So I feel like why not? Why not, Hopkins? Only reason I can see you not coming to the Titans is probably because money, but I think we got enough of that finally to give you at least for 1 or 2 years. So at this point, I don't really see a reason that he wouldn't want to come here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we got the best looking jerseys. I mean, there's a lot of reasons I can see yes, and it's very few reasons I can see no. But we're gonna see how it all play out. But why not? Why not play on the side of a first round rookie? Why not play on the same team as the best running back in the NFL, who's big as hell when you see him in person, and you can see why he's still sawing people to the ground, and and for a team who's about to be rebuilding the stadium, and it's gonna be a nice man. Just why not? Just this. I just feel like this. I feel like it would be, and then like you said, with the links with Vrabel and Tim Kelly, like I just feel like it's just a match made in heaven for Hopkins this off season. And like you said, with all the pay, the taxes, and it's just all green light, man. Come on, Hopkins, do what you gonna what you got to
think about this. The last GM traded off our star wide receiver. The year after he went out and got the Julio Jones deal, right? and we're still paying Julio Jones, even though he hasn't played for us in 2 years.
Right.
Now, a lot of people are comparing this situation to the Julio Jones, AJ Brown situation. And let's get something really clear right now. Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins, at their stages of their career when we sign them, if we were to sign DeAndre Hopkins now, are at completely different stages. They are completely different talent levels. Julio Jones already had 2 busted up years of his knee getting busted. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins has been producing the last 2 years. He just had to sit out a 6-game suspension because of, some stuff. Don't worry about that, though, DeAndre. It's no big deal, man. Come on down to Tennessee, bro. Seriously, we love you, man. We love you. We want you. We want you, man. We want you. The VT, stop with that now. Come on now, quit. No.
What'd he say? I missed that one.
I just said it's all coming down to money. All coming down to money.
Look at my dog TJ. Flame my dog. I ain't gonna start nothing. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog TJ, man. He a Steelers fan. But he slick root for the Titans a little bit.
Hey.
Yeah, he one of them guys. He one of them against the Steelers. So that's my dog, man. Tighten up though, TJ.
Yeah, hey, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. I feel that. I'm the same way with UT, when they play Georgia. I always want UT to win unless they're playing Georgia.
Right. Exactly.
All right, man. So let's kick off our honestly, one of my favorite segments, the favorite. I don't know. I think it's a hard choice between this and the Fans Effect segment, but I love this segment that we do. It's called the Legend segment. Each week we choose a legend, one offensive, one defensive. Yeah, that's right. Titans legends, everybody. So you want to go first, or do you want me to go first this week?
I can go first this week. I think you went first last week. I don't know how we doing it, but I'm going first this week.
Go for it.
I went defense. It was my turn to go defense, y'all. I think, it was kind of hard. Not too hard, but my first defensive player I picked was Javon Curse. This week, I'm going with probably the best cornerback we've ever had on the Titans. Possibly. I mean, it's very, I mean, you could argue. It's very, hey, I'm going Samari Rowe, man. Shout out to Samari Rowe, man. He was locked down. He was that guy was one of them corners you really didn't want to throw his way because he was elusive. He was very aggressive. He'll beat you. He can wrestle with you at the line of scrimmage. That guy. Hey, he wasn't a pushover at corner at all, and he had nice size too. But let's talk about his stats with the Titans. With the Titans, and I didn't do a little more research about how many years and all he was with the Titans. But while his time in Tennessee, he had 23 interceptions, 343 return yards on that interception, and then one he took it all the way to the house. In 2000, the year 2000, he was all pro at corner and he made the Pro Bowl. Shout out to Samari Rowe. During that time in Tennessee, he had 255 solo tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 8.5 sacks. That's a corner with 8.5 sacks. Shout out to Samari Rowe, man. He was a mean beast on that corner position. That's who we used to put on all the star receivers we used to play against. That was back in the Jeff Fisher days. Those was the days when we had a nice defensive line. So our defensive line used to make plays, and Samari Rowe, he was a monster. And we talking about legends. Samari Rowe was definitely a Titans legend. And you can say arguably one of the best, if he's not the best corner, he's definitely one of them. He's definitely top 2.
I was going to say, yeah, arguably. Yeah, I'd have to put that asterisk there because man, it's hard to choose. There's been 2 or 3 that we've had that's pretty darn good. But
like I could have went Cortland Finnegan, as my dog TJ say. I could have went Finnegan. I could have went Nick Harper. I could have went Andre Dyson. I could have went. Yep. I could have went Alteron Werner, Jason McCourty. All those guys was legends at corner. Hey, hopefully we got one playing. I could have went Pac-Man Jones. Hey, hopefully we got one playing corner right now in Roger McCreary. I thought we would have one in Caleb Farley, but that's a story for a whole nother day. But so shout out to my legend, Samari Rose. Shout out Big Dog, number 21. Locked down one side of the field. Got us, he played with us when we was the dominant Titans on defense. Shout out to Samari Rose. Who you got for your legend on offense this week, Max?
Well, it's hard to compete with Samari Role, man. I ain't gonna lie. You always come with good ones. I went with someone who is one of my personal favorite Titans. Not only is he one of the Titan legends in my eyes, but I honestly didn't know how good he was until I looked up his stats. And I think that he's one of the most overlooked Titans because of the way that he ended his career and someone else began their career. And today I'm going to talk about Michael Roos, the left tackle. Yeah. And the reason I want to bring up left tackle is because of how crappy our left tackle was last season. We know how important left tackle is in the NFL now. We've learned our lesson, I think.
Very, very important position, man. You protecting the quarterback's blind side if he's a right-hand quarterback. Very important position.
All right, so I'm going to try to be fast with this because the more I learned about Michael Roos, the more I was intrigued, so I kept going, and I'm sorry if I get off on a little tangent here, but
listen, let's go.
Michael Roos was born in Estonia and then came to the United States.
Wow.
So that's interesting. He doesn't really talk about that very much, though. Don't know why. He was drafted in 2005. He was drafted 9th in the second round. I think it was 41 overall out of Eastern Washington. That's a D1 school. D1.
Wow.
All right. Wow. He was the first D1 player drafted that year. So he was the highest pick. And he has been the highest pick out of Eastern Washington ever since. Nobody's ever been drafted from that school higher.
Eastern Washington.
Yeah, Eastern Washington. I'd never heard of the Eastern Washington. I think they're the War Eagles.
I was just going to say, what's their mascot, bro? I never even heard of these guys. The War Eagles. All right.
Yeah. In 2008, he was elected to the Pro Bowl. Even though, to be honest, 2011 was arguably his best year at left tackle. I don't know why he wasn't selected to the Pro Bowl that year as well. Maybe there was somebody else. Maybe it was just I don't know.
Ties like that.
Well, I mean, we might have been terrible that year. It might have been one of the 4-12 years or something. I don't know. It's hard to think about those years.
Right.
4-15, whatever we were.
Yeah.
Anyway, in 2014, in October 2014, which was week 4, Michael Roos suffered a season-ending leg injury that required surgery, and he never played another game. Now, the reason that I said he was overlooked is because waiting in the wings for him was first round draft pick at number 11 overall, Taylor Lewan. So Lewan was literally ready to step in. They were literally just letting Roos ride out his contract, and then they were going to just let Lewan come right in the next year. It just so happened that he hurt himself and didn't make it through the year, and Lewan stepped in and continued on. And Lewan was so good as a rookie that people just kind of were like, it's okay. We don't, it's cool, Michael Roos. So I think that's why people don't really appreciate what this man really did for the team. He retired in 2015, the next season. He never played for another team. I will say that he played 148 games for us. That means he missed one, if you're keeping count.
Wow. Wow.
One game. Yeah.
Man, that's what you call consistency, man. That man played all them games and just missed one game. Wow. Come on, man.
9 seasons. 9 seasons he missed one game. And the reason he missed a game is because he had emergency appendectomy surgery.
Come on, man. That just
shows
shows
back out there the next week.
Man, come on. That just show you he had to damn near be dying to miss a game, man. Shout out Michael Ruse, man. They don't make left tackles like him no more, man.
Now we're going to go over some stats real quick.
Okay.
And for comparison, I've also got Taylor Lewan stats here.
Okay.
Because a lot of people say, you know, he's a really good left tackle for the Tennessee. And I don't disagree with him. But let's see what the stats say about Michael Ruse compared to Taylor Lewan. Like I said, he played 148 games for the Titans. Over that time, he played 8,327 snaps. 8,327. He had 42 penalties over those 8,000 snaps. 42 over 8,000 snaps.
Wow.
28 sacks allowed. That sounds like a lot.
Nah,
but you think about, spread that out over 9 years.
Yeah.
And 1 year we had a really terrible O-line, and he had 9 sacks. But honestly, that was the year I think we had like 40 or 52 sacks or something like that. We were the number 1 sack team in the NFL that year, I think.
Okay.
So it was just, our O-line was crap. The next year we got Kevin Mawai and everything kind of balanced. I think we also got David Stewart, I think, was the right guard at that point, or the right tackle. I mean, so we kind of like shifted everything around on the O-line and really straightened it out. And then for the rest of his career, he got the right out. But anyway, compare that to Taylor Lewan. Okay, Lewan had 4,900 snaps. So 5,000 snaps versus 8,300. Okay, so we're talking about 3,000 more snaps. Okay, 3,000 more snaps. That's crazy.
Goodness. Wow.
That's nuts. Okay, so Taylor Lewan had 63 penalties, where Michael Ruse had 42. All right, and Taylor Lewan allowed 26 sacks, where Michael Ruse allowed 28.
Wow.
And we're talking about 3,000 more snaps.
3,000 more snaps, and he only gave up 2 more penalties.
That's right.
I mean, no sacks. Come on, man. Now that's
and the big thing to me that will always stand out for me on him is the one game.
Yeah,
he missed one game.
Man,
that's what you need out of your O lineman.
Man, that's what you need out of your O lineman, man. That's consistency, and not only consistency, he's fucking performing while he's out there, man. Like
that's a legend.
Big legend, man. That might have been the best legend we done came up with right there, Max, man. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Big Ruse, man. Michael Ruse.
Yeah. Most underappreciated Titan ever, man, is Michael Ruse, bro. And I don't know if little known fact, what is it? Is it cousin, nephew, something like that? Jordan Ruse is actually akin to him. So we actually have somebody on the team currently who's still kin to Michael Ruse. Michael Ruse is huge, man. I love Michael Ruse. Good dude, man. Oh, the funny fact.
Yes, sir. What's the fun fact?
I forgot the fun fact. I always try to throw in fun facts, like with Bullock, he had, the cafe that he opened or whatever. So with Ruse, the funny fact is, and it brings Keith Bullock into it too, Jared Allen decided in 2018 that him, Mark Bulger, Keith Bullock, and Michael Ruse was going to form a curling team, and they tried out for the 2022 Olympics, although they did not make it. Yeah. Could you see them out there with little sweepers?
Yeah.
Who's sliding the curler, do you think? Do you think that's Michael Ruse?
Probably Ruse. Yeah, you probably got Keith Bullock and them out there sweeping.
It's got to be him or Allen, man. I can't imagine them.
I can't imagine
like,
none of it, honestly. But
Oh,
that's
man,
why that's a cool fun fact right now, man.
yeah, much love to Michael Ruse, much love to all our Titan legends. But
Yes, sir.
yes, Michael Ruse in my heart is always one of the biggest Titan legends, man. I miss him so much.
Yeah.
You know, and I love Taylor too. Don't get me wrong. I love Taylor Lewan.
yeah.
I'm actually a huge Taylor Lewan fan.
And-
Shout out Taylor if you ever see my podcast, which I probably never will, but if you do, I'd love for you to be on my podcast or me be on your podcast, man. We're just rap, dude. I think you're cool, and I would love to talk to you. You seem like a really cool dude. Anyway, on that other tangent, we're at our next segment, I think.
Yes, sir. The fan involvement, man.
Yeah, and this is
we're trying to get all the fans involved. You know, we love our fans at the Titan Fan Battle Podcast. So, you know, each week we're gonna take a question from a fan and we're gonna discuss it. What we got this week, Max.
This week our question comes from CJ May, and he asked, where does Colton Dowell fit in our offense?
You want to take off with that one?
Well, all right. So, obviously he's a wide receiver. So, you know, he fits in our offense in the wide receiver position, but not to be a smart aleck, because I don't ever want to come off that way. Colton Dowell is probably going to start off on special teams. I hope that he starts off in like the fourth wide receiver spot. Mm-hmm. I'd like him to be just a smidge ahead of NWI, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Mm-hmm. So in my eyes, towards the end of the season, I would like to see him progress into the third wide receiver, or if like I said, if we don't sign DeAndre Hopkins, I'd like to see him towards the end of the season move up to the second. And I think it's honestly pretty plausible. Yeah. I don't know how much of these videos y'all watch on this Titans OTA and mini camp, and I know a lot of people don't make big deals out of stuff, but if you watch things, you can pick up on little things that mean a lot. Mm-hmm. Like Treylon Burks was given an interview where he was talking about Colton Dowell, and he was talking about how prepared he was and how he knew the playbook front to back already, and that he made a joke that if he was going up for a route or whatever, he would ask Colton what he was supposed to do on that route. Because it's a brand new offense, and for both of them, they're kind of like, I mean, Treylon ain't a rookie, and he even mentions that in the press conference. That was his downfall as a rookie, and that's how he glosses it over or whatever. But the point or the key out of that is that Colton Dowell already knows the handbook front to back better than our number one wide receiver. So I think that Colton Dowell, I think he's going to shock people, really. I really do, but that might just be my hope, my blissful hopefulness. I don't know. What's your take on that? Where do you think Colton Dowell fits in?
I mean, with us having a very big hole and a weakness at wide receiver, he definitely has a chance to have a spot on the offense. Like, I mean, right now it's basically Treylon Burks, Kyle Phillips, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, and who else? You know what I'm saying? It's so much so many, room for a wide receiver like Colton Dowell to make the team, to come in and fill a spot. So as of right now, him being a rookie, him being, the only wide receiver we drafted right now, I feel like he got a good chance to actually make the roster, and he's definitely gonna have to work special teams before he's gonna be able to get out there and catch passes. So he's definitely gonna get on the field and get those special team minutes, and then that way he can prove himself, show Vrabel that he's willing to go out there and play and ball, and then chances on the offense will open up for him. Right now, I feel like Colton Dowell has a good chance, a very good chance to make the roster and get some time, get some plays or get some snaps at wide receiver, whether it be slot or outside receiver. Right now it's looking good. Now that could change with the signing of DeAndre Hopkins. If we were to sign DeAndre Hopkins, that would push him on, further down the depth chart when it comes to, getting snaps at wide out. But Right now, I feel like Colton Dow has a good chance, long as he keep showing up in mini count, catching passes, making plays. Man, all you got to do is catch the coach eye a couple times, and hey, next thing you know, you on the field, man. So shout out to Colton Dow. Right now, I'm saying he got a 65 to 70% chance to get on that field and make some plays. So all Colton Dow fans, y'all should be happy right now. Y'all should be excited of to see what he can bring. And hey, we're all, as Titans fans, we all excited. You know, we just want that one other wide receiver to just blossom, man, because, you know, as of right now, that's still one of our weakest spots on the team. And, you know, right now we just need anything to happen besides Treylon, besides Burks, Phillips, and Akina. Hey, anybody else that can catch the ball and possibly run after catch, hey, you're fine with us. So shout out to Cole.
Well, at 6'1" with 4.42 speed, I mean, you know, that's a burner on the outside. He's real physical. You know, I mean, exactly. I think he could be a pretty darn good receiver. If nothing else, he could, you know, he'll make you think. You know, as a cornerback, he's gonna make you think. You know what I mean, and react.
And with that kind of speed, actually, you know, I'm not sure if what I've been hearing has basically been mainly Tyjae Spears, but hey, he could get a crack at some kick and punt returns. You never know with that kind of speed. You know, why not throw him back there? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that was a big thing about me on the Colton Dow thing was I didn't realize it at the time. I mean, like when I saw him drafted, I got really excited because I was like, oh my God, is that the kid from UT Martin? Because, you know, I thought it was funny that he burned UT so bad, you know, but his RAS score was a 9.78. And that's out of every wide receiver that's been drafted. It's like 40-something thousand people. And he scored a 9.78. That's almost a perfect 10. Wow. Out of 40,000 people. He's big. That high up.
That's big.
Yeah. I mean, do you know how freakishly athletic you have to be to score that high?
Yeah, that's big.
I mean, a lot of our players, when you look at them draft-wise, a lot of them have super high RAS scores, and I think that's what Ran Carthon was going after. Like I said, that's why we're drafting for next year or whatever. And so, but on that front, I think that Colton Dow, I agree. Both of us agree that we think he has a good chance to make it on the roster, a really good chance to make it on the roster. Pretty good chance to contribute early on special teams, and then maybe, you know, even get into some wide receiver action because of the speed and the body size and the body type. If you can get your hips and your hands right and show the coaches that you can do it in practice. I mean, Mike Vrabel's one of those guys that if you show him you can do it, he's going to put you on the field and let you give it a shot. I mean, that's why we had Kyle Phillips returning punts last year, even after he dropped 2. He was still returning them because Mike Vrabel saw him in practice do it well.
He knew what he could do. He knew his potential. So,
yeah. Shout out to Titans Coliseum podcast, everybody. That's the other Titans
Coliseum podcast. What up, big guys?
That's the other Titans podcast on the Fan Battle Sports Network. If y'all don't know them, go check them out. Show them some love. Man. Yeah, there is room for every Titans podcast out there. I say the more the better, the more the merrier. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We all Titans fans at the end of the day. So hey, once you need some more Titan content, definitely go check out the Titans Coliseum podcast.
Oh, there you go. What do you think? Take it.
What's that? My boy TJ.
That's your boy. Yeah.
Yeah. My boy TJ say, I support the Titans, but y'all still don't have the quarterback to take y'all there. Hey, when you say there, TJ, you talking about the Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
I think that's what he means.
Yeah, of course, that's what he means. But only one team, well, I take it back. Only 2 teams going to go to the Super Bowl each year. And I mean, hey, me personally, bro, I feel like Tannehill could take us to the Super Bowl with the right weapons. You know what I mean? Like, he has to have the right weapons. A lot of people don't believe in Tannehill because he's not giving them good reason with his postseason play. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I said it on a couple podcasts ago. Man, that Bengals game just still hurts, man. That 3 interceptions. And it still hurts, man. That was a game. That was a season where I felt like we really had the team to win the Super Bowl, bro. Like
We did.
If we would have beat the Bengals, we would have went on to play Kansas City, where they would have had to come to Nashville. Kansas City would have had to come to Nashville. They came to Nashville. They came to Nashville a couple weeks ago that same season, and we beat the shit out of Patrick Mahomes, made him fumble. He was out there crying about his ankle. We beat the snot out the Chiefs. So we would have beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Then we would have went on to play the Rams, another team that we kicked the dog shit out of on Monday Night Football in their house, which we would have been playing on the same field again, and where we smoked the Rams. That was our year, so that hurt. Man, that hurt. Michael Newsom comes in. Tannehill took us to a 2-possession lead in the AFC Championship. Fact. Of course, he can take us to the Super Bowl if we give him help. Good comment, Mike. He did. Don't forget, we were just in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs. What was that, 3 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
And hey, we started that game off good. We started that game off 17-7. Our defense folded though. And it was coaching. I mean, our defense, we started giving up big. And I'm still mad that we let Mahomes run for that touchdown, bro. Like, when I think about that game and I see Mahomes taking off, and I think it was Rashaan Evans, man, one of our linebackers took a poor angle on Patrick Mahomes. Man, it was terrible. Man, Tannehill, listen, give Tannehill the weapons, the line, and Derrick Henry. We can win the Super Bowl with Derrick Henry. Trust me. Michael comes back one more time.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll let you take that one, Max.
He said if Kyle Phillips fumbles week 1 and week 2 again, he will absolutely get playing time. Look, man.
He's talking about Colton Dowell. That's what he's saying. He's saying if Kyle Phillips,
even if he's talking about Kyle Phillips, I mean, look, dude. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, but you're right. If he fumbles 2 weeks in a row, especially in week 1 and week 2, yeah, we're probably still going to play him. I mean, it's not like we're going to give up a dude after 2 weeks. There's a long season. But now it does change if those 2 fumbles turn into touchdowns and loses the game or something like that. Then that kind of changes things a little bit. We might back up off of him a little bit.
Yeah, I think he referring, we was talking about Colton Dowell getting PT. I think he's saying if Kyle Phillips fumbles week 1 and week 2.
That's yeah.
So he's talking about Colton Dowell.
Yeah, now I did think about that also. That was another, I did actually, but I got off on a tangent, but that was one of the other things I was going to say is if injury happens, which has been plaguing us for years, if that happens, like Kyle Phillips gets injured or Chris Moore gets injured or NWI gets injured, Colton Dowell is going to play. Yeah. I mean, he's just the next best option we got. I mean, the only other option we really have is like Mason Kinsey. And
I keep forgetting about the guy we signed from the Texans. He's been getting a lot of what's his name?
Chris Moore.
Chris Moore.
Dude, he's smooth, man. I don't know. I don't know if you watched any of the tape or any of that, but he's got real smooth hips. I mean, we haven't been talking about him a lot, but he's a name we got to watch, man. With him knowing Tim Kelly and knowing that offense, he could be a big player in this offense, man. So we might. Not only that, he had. If you watch his season progression, look at his stats. Over his career, you can see tick, 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 tick. And last season, I think it went from like 300 to like 548 yards last year or something like that.
Okay.
So he's definitely on the rise in his career. If he can keep it up.
Man, he could be a name to watch for, and I've been hearing about him lately. So watch out for Chris Moore, y'all. Watch out! I'm telling you, with the holes that we got in the receiver room.
I mean, you think about it this way: if he can get 700 yards, Burks can get 1,000, Henry can get about 1,500 on the ground, Tajay can get about 500 on the ground, about 300 in the air. Chick can get about 700 in the air, and then Wiley can get about 300 in the air.
That's a legit offense, bro.
I mean, that's a lot of offense. That's a lot of yards.
That's a legit offense, bro.
That's a lot of touchdowns. Y'all, if y'all got any questions, now is the time to ask them. Anything you want to say, you want to give a shout out, you just want to say, I don't like your show.
Yeah, we want all fan engagement, man. Bring it on, man. We always gonna communicate with the fans. We appreciate everybody coming here rocking with us, man. Titans Fan Battle Podcast. You know, this is just our third show. And like I said, we only gonna get better, man. Me and Max, we keep coming up with new ideas. Hey, we got a nice intro coming up soon, man.
That's right.
I'm gonna just give y'all a little peek, man. We got a nice intro coming soon, man. And you know, we welcoming all guests too. You know, you somebody who, you know, got some knowledge on the team and you want to come in and say some stuff, you know, shoot one of us a DM, and hey, instead of just being us two, we might can get, you know, add one more person on here. Hey, call it a Titans party. So, you know, hey,
that's right. Sure. And if you're watching the show and you're liking the show, drop a little thumbs up, you know, share, you know, tell your friends, all that kind of stuff. The more the merrier, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We love doing it, and we love it because, you know, we just love it. And we're going to keep doing it whether you guys watch us or not. So, yeah, anyway. If we get Hopkins with Burks, Phillips, Chig, and Henry, we are good. Yeah, I agree, man. If we get DeAndre Hopkins, it takes us from a playoff contender-ish team, if you ask me. You know, we're in that middle phase. Might hit the playoffs, we might not. If we get DeAndre Hopkins, we're automatically a contender. I mean, if you ask me, we're right up there with the Bills, with the Chiefs, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people right now are thinking I'm a homer for saying that, but I don't care. Wait till the season starts and just watch, because it's going to happen. I like to call the new offense. I haven't seen a whole lot of the offense, but I've mentioned before, I'm a coach. I watch X's and O's a lot. I've seen what Tim Kelly's doing. I've seen 4 plays already in the OTAs and the minicamp footage that get me really excited. And I like to call it smash and dash with a little razzle dazzle, because that's what it looks like. It looks like we're just going to play smash mouth, or that's what I meant to say, smash mouth with a little bit of razzle dazzle, because that's what it looks like. We're playing smash mouth football, and then all of a sudden you see just a little sprinkle of some razzle dazzle, and it's absolutely amazing.
I can see that. Hey, I think, man, don't sleep on the Titans, man. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say with Tim Kelly coming in, with our offensive line. Hey, listen, as bad as our offensive line played last year, if it would have just played a little bit better, we would have been a little bit better. We would have beat the Jaguars last year. We would have went to the playoffs last year and had a chance to beat the Chargers or whoever it would have been. We would have played in the first round. Our offensive line killed us last year, and it was the death of the whole football team. I mean, we were bringing guys in. Dennis Daly missing blocks. Everybody was missing blocks. It was a mess on the offensive line, and they kept running these same guys out there. And I'm pretty sure Tannehill was frustrated because he kept getting hurt. It was a mess. Derrick Henry couldn't even run left. All he could do was run right. Like, we were so predictable. Tannehill had no time to throw the ball. When he did throw it, who was he throwing it to? Who was on the field? Nobody was on the field most of the time. Like, when he was throwing the ball up, it was games where Treylon Burks missed, and he was supposed to be our number 1 receiver. Kyle Phillips missed a ton of shit, basically the whole season. Like, half the time, who was out there catching the ball? The only person we had out there to catch the ball was Chig. And hey, I mean, that was terrible. Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry. I got to say something real quick. By the way, if you're still watching VT, enjoy Bobby Trees. Enjoy Robert Woods all you want, brother. You enjoy him. I love that you're optimistic about what he's going to bring to your team, and that the Titans were just so terrible that he couldn't produce on our team. You just believe that all you want, brother, because Bobby Trees is terrible, man. He is washed up.
He's just a possession receiver, and he can't even get open. Like, he can't even get open. Like,
and Newsom here says that huge difference between Julio and Hopkins. we talked about that earlier in the show, but yeah, there is a huge difference there. Julio was already busted up for 2 seasons. Hopkins is healthy right now, and he's been producing. He just had to sit out 6 games last season.
Shout out to Newsome. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Putting out some good comments now. Let's see what do we feel about the cornerbacks.
Well, I mean, hey, we just talked about corners, but Mike, man, look, that's a group. Right now, we got a group of corners. I feel like should be better than last year because we brought in Sean Murphy-Bunting, which I think was a good pickup. He's a solid pickup. I think he can play man and hold his man to, he can, hold his side of the field down. On the other side, I don't know if we're gonna start Fulton. I don't know if we're gonna go McCreary, but I like McCreary. I would pick McCreary over Fulton. I would put Fulton in the slot. I'm liking what we got. I want Caleb Farley to be good. I know we all do. Don't know what the fuck is really going on with the guy, but we drafted him first round. Like, those are players that hurts our franchise when we draft them first round and they don't fucking play. Like, that shit's that kill us in the long run. These other franchises, they draft, corners number 1, and they go Pro Bowl, Sauce Gardner. Like, come on, guys. We drafted Caleb Farley number 1. We need that guy to do something. If he's not going to do something, get him off the field. But to answer your question, Mike, I'm feeling good about the corners. I'm feeling good about Sean Murphy-Bunting. I hope Farley done. I hope Christian Fulton can stay healthy because he is a decent corner. Roger McCreary showed us last year that he can play Molden too. Molden is I see Molden as a safety. How about you, Max? I mean, I kind of see Molden as he can play corner, but
yeah, they're indicating that they want to play him at safety. But y'all, I don't know if you know this or not, but he hadn't been at minicamp last couple of days. You know why?
Yeah, I've been hearing about it. I don't know what's going on with that, but
yeah, he got hurt.
To answer your question, Mike, I'm feeling okay about the corners. I did say earlier in this show that that's probably going to be one of our weaknesses on defense again, bro. Like, until we can draft a star, until we can sign a star, or at least somebody who's a certified man corner and can shut down a star receiver, we're going to continue to struggle at corner. And with our front seven has been as good as they're going to be, because I'm telling you, our front seven going to be good. Our corners are still going to struggle, bro. We're still going to get burned. Trust me.
Yeah, I think Fulton's shown flashes of amazingness and what he can be. If he can do that on a more consistent basis and stay on the field, then I think he would make a heck of a QB1. But honestly, I don't think he's our QB1 this year, based on CB1. Thank you. Sorry. Holy cow. Yeah, definitely not a quarterback. I don't want to see him doing that. But I don't think he's the CB1 this year. I think, honestly, he's CB2. That job belongs to Sean Murphy-Bunting. People might think I'm crazy on that, but, man, watching him in practice against Treylon Burks, and Treylon Burks is an improved Treylon Burks from last year, I was impressed. I have been impressed so far. There was one day they were even talking about how smothering he was, that he just absolutely shut him down for a whole period of practice, that he just completely although Burks did come back in that and show up. But still, the point is that I think Sean Murphy-Bunting is going to be a huge surprise. Roger McCreary's size is what kills him. Otherwise, he is a star, man. I mean, he showed it last year with his heads-up play as he was going out of bounds, catching the ball and throwing it back in bounds so that we could get it. Yeah. I mean, who even thinks about that when they're in the game? That is nuts. Yeah. And for a rookie to pull that off, hats off to you, bro.
Yeah.
Good job, man. Good job. Because that's the kind of stuff we need, and I hope that you play like that next year or this year. I want to see that. I think our DBs are going to be okay. I do think it's probably the weak spot of the defense. I don't know. I guess linebacker is ish, but I don't think. I was going to say I don't, because I really believe that Azeez Al-Shaair
is going to be good. And
I think
Arden
Monty
Key.
Rice. I think those two they're going to do what we ask linebackers to do.
Yeah,
which is primarily
a,
stop the run and watch the tight ends for 10 yards.
Michael Newsom says a lot of people are down on our DBs, but last year we allowed 21 points per game. Any kind of decent offense, and you're a 12-win team if the defense allowed 21 points per game. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
See, that's the problem last year. Our offense just couldn't match our defense.
We couldn't score 21 points.
Our offense couldn't get to 21 to save their life, bro. So that was our problem.
I was going to say, go back and look at how many games there are where we score 21 and less. It's so ridiculous. And go back and look at how many. This is the part that gets me excited about Tim Kelly. Go back and look at how many games we started off well. And it is a fact now. It was a theory then, but it's a fact now that he was pre-planning and pre-scripting the first few drives of the game. And after half, and then he was also scripted, and he was also responsible for our red zone. And now our red zone total did dip a little bit last year, but in red zone goal to go, we were like number 1 in the league, I think, or number 2 in the league. So
we was good on the scripted plays, but once we went off script, we were terrible.
And that's my point, man. So I really have a whole lot of faith in that. I'm sorry, VT, I ain't showed it till now, but he said when could he produce when your quarterback's only throwing 6 times in the second half? I guess he's talking about the 2 or 3 games that we had with Malik Willis and where Tannehill was hurt. But because Tannehill slings the ball. And you look at the first 3 games of the season, man, you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, Tannehill's gonna if a passing play is called, Tannehill's gonna throw the ball, bro. Like,
yeah,
I have I don't doubt Tannehill at all.
No, dude. Answer this real quick. No, he's under contract.
Yeah,
he's under contract. So I mean,
we'll be here, baby. He ain't going.
Yeah, man, he's under contract.
But hey, with them asking him to take a pay cut, they could look into trading him. You never know.
If I've heard a lot of trade talk about the mayor of Murfreesboro, and you know how I feel about that. And maybe it's my bias that just doesn't want him to be traded, but I just feel like he brings something extra to the defensive backs, and if you look at what he's done, all he's done since he's been here, is take away the ball.
You got to think though, Mac, he getting older too, though. I mean,
I know he's getting older. I know he might only have about 2 more years left in him, but I don't care. I want those 2 years. I want them. I want them.
Hey, listen,
I just got done talking about a Titan legend who only missed 1 game in his whole career and played the entirety of his career with the Tennessee Titans.
Listen,
that's what I want.
I'm with you, bro. Listen, as Titans fans, we deserve those last 2 years. We deserve
That's
it,
right. It's just like Derrick Henry, man. Look, I love Derrick Henry. I know he's probably gone after this year, and that breaks my freaking heart. Oh, my God, it hurts so bad to say that. I don't want to say that. I say it through my teeth because it just hurts that bad.
Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, bro. I got jerseys up and everything, man. It's going to hurt, man.
King, listen, man, if you can hear me, man, you're the king. You've already established that. You stay with us. We're going to do this. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to ride you until you're just done. So, I mean, just stick with us, man, until you're done. And then go out a legend. Like all the well, you're still a legend. I don't care. But anyway, I digress.
As a franchise, that's what we got to start doing, though. We got to start keeping our players, to the end of their career, man. Like we're tired of seeing our good players have to play with a team for 2 years, then retire, come back and retire as a Titan. Go on and let Byard play his contract out as a Titan. Pay the man what you've been paying him. He definitely deserved it. He definitely deserved what he's getting. Just let him
Mr.
go.
Newsom coming with some good comments here. A little something extra that Byard brings to the DBs is the ability for them to make a mistake because he's going to correct it in real time.
Yeah.
He's right. I've seen him do it in games. I've seen him literally grab a cornerback by the helmet and yank him over there and tell him and show him and move his hand. You can tell he's telling him on the route when he cuts.
Byard plays better when the cornerbacks are playing good because that allows him to free roam back there instead of having to focus on the wide receiver that's torching our fucking corner. So then that brain takes him out of position as a safety because he's having to step up and make up the slack for that corner. So if our cornerbacks can be solid, Byard will continue to have Pro Bowl seasons. So we just need our CBs to play and guard these wide receivers, and Byard will sit back there and pick shit out the air. If Henry doesn't get 10,000 rushing yards at the Titan, it's a crime against Titan Nation. That's correct. Hopefully Henry can finish as the leading rushing Titan. I think he has a little bit to go before he even hits Eddie.
I had to look it up because I knew it was 8 something. I just didn't know what the next number was. I was hoping it was an 8-7 so that I could say, hey, man, we got a shot this year. I mean, it's a long shot, but we got a shot. But at 8-3, I mean, you got to score 2,700 yards in one season. Damn, you do that, bro. You are the king. You are the best. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody.
Has he even passed Chris Johnson yet?
In the Titans?
Yeah, Titans rushing yards.
Yeah. The only two that he doesn't have yet is Earl Campbell and Eddie George.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And he's almost caught up to Eddie George. So, yeah.
Eddie George, he on your ass, Eddie.
Oh yeah, man. You're right. I can't do math. I'm sorry, man. You see, y'all get to see how bad at math I am right now in my head.
Oh, he did say 83. That ain't 27.
Yeah, 80. Yeah. Hey, man. I'm talking about football, not arithmetic, and I'm sorry, but yeah, you're right, Michael Newsom. We might actually get to see Derrick Henry. There is a good chance we get to see Derrick Henry because last year he was slated. Or the year he got injured. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. The year he got injured,
he was damn near going for 22, 25.
I was going to say, yeah, he was slated to hit 22.5, which was what he was. That's crazy. That's an insane amount. And if he's able to get 1,800 yards, which I think is plausible, then yeah, we see him as a 10,000 yard rusher, and that's great. And I think he goes down into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer pretty much anyway, no matter, he's going to finish in the Hall of Fame. So, but I don't want to drag this show on too much longer. We've already went way over an hour. And, yeah, I don't want to keep going too much longer. So let's wrap it up, guys. We really appreciate all you guys for coming out. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, one more, and then we really have to go because this is a good question.
What y'all think about the new tight end we have? You talking
about Josh Whyle?
Josh Whyle. I think Josh Whyle.
I'm sure he's not talking about Trayvon Wesco. I mean, come on now. Who cares about that?
He's talking about Josh Whyle.
Yeah, he's talking about
Josh Whyle. I watched some of his college highlights. He's a pass catcher. He's a man. He's tall. He's a big size guy. He's
6'4".
He's gonna make some plays. He's gonna try to make up for that weak wide receiver room we got. I think Josh Whyle will be a good pass catcher for Tannehill. He'll do some of those things that Austin Hooper did. Get in the middle of the field, get open, make some crazy catches, and he's tall, so he's gonna be taller than a lot of these linebackers. So I like Josh Whyle, and I think he's gonna do some big things. So
yeah, really agree on that. I had to look it up. He's 6'6". I'm sorry,
he's
not 6'4". He's 6'6". Yeah, and he's got I think a 34 or 37 inch vertical.
Yeah.
So yeah, big. And if you watch his stats, his highlights at Cincinnati, he is a pass catching tight end. He runs. He's big though. He's physical. afraid to just dig in and take the block, which I like, but also he doesn't really run after the catch very much. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of wiggle in him or anything like that. So I see him as a intermediate pass and a big touchdown target.
Yeah.
Now I could see Josh Wiley maybe only pulling
2 or 3 touchdowns.
200, 300 yards, but I could also see him pulling 5 or 6 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
You know, and then Chig have like 700, 800 yards and then still only 6 touchdowns, just as much as Josh Wiley. But that's because Josh Wiley
he's a bigger threat in the red zone. Yeah. So
you can throw it at the crossbar and he can still catch it. You know, I mean, that's easy. So there's that. Yes, no, we don't come on every evening. We come on every Monday night at this time, which is, we start it at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern.
Central. Yes, sir. Monday nights, that's our night. That's when y'all can catch us. We appreciate everybody tuning in to watch us, man. I know everybody, maybe in the future, you know, we might move up to 2 shows a week. You never know. When the season starts, we got a little bit more to talk about. But until then, just catch us every Monday, 7:30 Central. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me and my guy Max, man, on the Titans Fan Battle Podcast. Follow the Facebook. We got a Titans Fan Battle Podcast Facebook. Follow that. You can catch us there. You can catch my guy Max on his page, Maximus Titans Fan. I'm on my personal page, Flame Douglas. Y'all need anything, y'all can hit us up there. We just appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. Keep the views coming, keep the shares coming. We only going up, man. This is gonna be one of them podcasts that you're gonna want to watch every week because we're gonna bring the facts and we're gonna integrate the fans. So I mean, this is y'all podcast just like it's ours, man. We want y'all to have input, and I mean, this is for the people, man. Tighten up.
That's right, everybody. We want y'all to be a part of this podcast. That's kind of the whole idea, is that y'all help produce the content along with us. Get your ideas out there. What do you think? Let us be a voice for you. Yeah. That's why we do this whole segment part in the end, is to give you a voice, to say whatever you want, get it out there. Doesn't matter what I mean, if something we don't think, or, you know, something you're completely against what we say, you know, even if we disagree, get it out there, man.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah. Sure. And again, very much. Like Flame said, you can find me on Facebook, Maximus Titan Fan, and Twitter, Maximus Titan Fan. You can find us on YouTube, Titans Fan Battles Podcast. And like he said, you can find us on Facebook, Titan Fan Battle Podcast, and the Flame Douglas. And that's it, everybody. Thank you and good night, and have a good night. We'll see you next week right here, Monday night, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Thank you.
Sign up.